Good evening, listeners, one and all, and welcome to the Champion Gauntlet. I'm Pironius, joined here by the ever-lovable Graham Cast, and tonight we'll be bringing you this Week 1 match between PPE Revival and the Venga Boys. I got a good feeling about this one. How about you, Graham?
I'm right fired up and ready to go. I've literally been bouncing back and forth in my chair, vibrating at a frequency so fast that I'm almost invisible. That's how pumped I am. Honestly, can we just get into this one? Because this should be a fun game. But more importantly, it's the Champions Gauntlet. That's not something that you take lightly. It's not like we're just here on a Tuesday or anything, which is especially true because it's Saturday at 2 a.m. right now in Canada. No, but we are here for the Champions Gauntlet, a big-time AOE tournament. Week number 1 starting right off the bat right now.
Absolutely, and for those of you joining us that perhaps need a quick recap of the rules for this one, we will be going through 8 weeks of Swiss between these teams, fighting out a series of best-of-5 matches to determine who will be our top 4. Our top 4 teams will then go on to a final playoffs for the last 2 weeks of the tournament, with only one winner coming out on top in the end of it. So definitely a lot on the table here. There is actual esports prize money on the table for these teams to win. And we'll be kicking things off very shortly here for our first map, where we will be starting in Nepal. Get used to that one, because every match in this tournament is going to be starting here on Nepal.
Absolutely, and a big time 500 smackas is the prize pool. I think smackas is a currency. If not, it is. In fact, $500.
Dollary dues, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. We got the real money. We got the dollary dues. We got the dollarinos. And we are starting on Control Nepal. Of course, this is the standard format for so many events at this point in time. You go Control, then Escort, then Hybrid, then Assault. Then, if needed, back to Control with another Control map as a tiebreaker. So, where we're gonna go, loser of each map gets to pick the next map. Side is chosen by the winner. Standard. We've been doing this for how long now in AOE? Everybody should know that. And speaking of things everyone else should know, Pironius, we're diving in right now.
Absolutely, diving into Nepal, and a chance to introduce our teams. In the blue team tonight, at least for the start, is PPE Revival, a team that's been around for a while now under the Paper Plane Esports brand. We can definitely expect to see some good things out of them. Their opponent over in the red is the Venga Boys, an interesting lineup. I think a fairly new team. I could be wrong on that one, but it's certainly not a name I've heard before, but definitely recognize some of the names of these players on here, so we can definitely expect to see some good things out of them tonight as well. And we'll be starting, by the looks of it, over on Shrine. So definitely an opportunity to really show your stuff in this early map.
And I do believe that the Venga Boys have had to use a sub for this game, as I believe Bogalugs is a member of their starting core. So, we'll see how the new look to them goes, because anytime you get a sub, sometimes it can be a positive. I think it's Shooter that's not usually playing. I feel bad that I can't remember that one offhand. But Shooter is quite a good player in his own right, and I think he is going to be able to fit in here nice and easily. But we'll see what kind of a look it gives them with Shooter instead of Bogalugs.
Absolutely, and now the teams are going to roll out. We're getting the usual very meta composition at the moment from PPE Revival with that double shield May Reaper comp, but Olam's come out on the Pharaoh, which can definitely be a complication to that ground-based composition. We'll see how it goes as this first fight gets underway.
Absolutely, there's some long-range spam coming down right now, just trying to put pressure in. This Farah is getting a lot of damage down, but it's not doing a real good job of displacing anything, and no kills have been able to come out of this engagement yet. Finally, the first one will go. Olam's got DJ Jam, Tiny Hero down 2, and the Farah Rockets reigning supreme. Nothing can really counter it as Tyler goes down. Olam single-handedly is farming right now. Crocodile's gonna get one on the mitochondria. powerhouse of the defense has fallen, and now this will be the point flipping over.
Absolutely, the point will be flipped here. Early progress going to be picked up by the Venga boys off the back of that Pharah play. It did take a while to get going, but those rockets really raining down uncontested from the sky definitely got their weight in gold there. As unfortunately, PPE Revival just did not have the answer for it. Now DJ Jeff over onto the McCree to try and provide some threat to that Pharah.
They are still trying to find any way through, any way they can even put pressure onto it. And they've not really been able to do it yet. The Pharah's just kind of nice and safely back there, just pressuring around. Oof. And now the barrage comes through, finding a pair of Mitochondria and Jeff down. Tanatube is also going to fall to Olam. And this is Farmville for Pharah. Nothing really being answered there. Isabella is going to ring team kill, comes down. 40% in climbing is where Venga boys sit.
Yeah, 100%. This is looking really good here now for the Venga boys. The ultimates are about to come online for PP Revival. They're going to have a few available, including that all-important Blizzard. But at the same time, Grade very close to their own Blizzard as well. So it really is going to come down to which team is able to execute these ultimates first as to how this next fight will go.
And again, we are seeing paper planes just sit on this left-hand side, or I guess right, depending on your perspective. But now they finally have moved into the point itself. And here's the ults out, Blizzard's down. And actually, one of them got mulched there. So that's not what you want to see. And DJ Jeff finding the next kill on the Crocodile. This is looking very good. Graviton does get Shooter McGrav down as we pick some milk falling too. We're going to have paper planes. They're going to grab the point.
Yeah, PP will get that one captured, which is good because they needed to win that fight as the percentage gets up to 90 there. Not a lot of room there, but now they've got it. They need to hold it. They need to hold it without losing it at all, or they'll lose this round, and they've used almost all their resources just to get the capture. So this is still a pretty good position to be in if you are the Venga boys, because you really only need to win one fight, and you will walk away the victor of Shrine.
That said, 90%, like, I mean, how do you hang on to this for 100%? It's essentially what you have to do. And with the Pharah coming in from above, sure, he only gets one, but it's still a big-time kill. DJ Chef found two and quickly was taken out as the res comes back into Olam. These kills need to come in pretty fast, pretty furious. But really, no one's finding this next kill, and that's going to be so pivotal as this fight continues to stay in the latter stages of it. A lot of damage done, but no kills. It's looking a little bit worse right now for Venga boys, and Crocodile going down might be the end of it, especially as they have players stuck in that Shooter McGrath. He's in all kinds of trouble. He's going to be staggered out pretty late. And now they are continuing to climb up to 60% now as PPE Revival continue to build.
Yeah, PPE Revival has to be feeling good after that one. They needed to win that fight. They've managed it. They've drained a lot of resources out of their opponent in the Venga boys. This is putting them in the driver's seat now. This map should go to them at this point unless they make a mistake. So now it is their game to lose because look at the resources they have online compared to their opponent. They've got the Blizzard there. They've got a lot of things about to come online. Venga boys in danger.
Oh, another Blizzard coming down on this field right now, and it's doing a lot of work right now as DJF finds two more. The Tracer pick, I almost questioned it when it came up, but it seems to have been working flawlessly, and now players need to make their way to the point. There is an Arista there just playing around the shield, and that's going to do a good job of staying alive for a little bit. But now another Blizzard's coming down here, and this might be huge, but instead it's Water's Edge finding all these kills. Oh my lord, that's 5 of them in this engagement, including one that was rezzed back up and killed again. As Water's Edge might single-handedly have swung this first segment. Tanatube is going to get one more, and I don't think anyone will get there. That is, in fact, segment 1 going to PPE Revival.
Absolutely. Water's Edge punishing with that Sigma ultimate, just again and again, slamming people back to spawn. Very well played there, and in the end, PPE are able to come out ahead. They've weathered the storm. They pick up the win in Shrine. And that's got to be a shock to the Venga boys, who were looking so good in the early part of that map as well.
Okay, so how do you respond right now if you are Venga boys? You looked good early, Peronius, but your back's there now against the wall. You lose this segment, you lose map 1. That's not a spot anybody wants to be in. Sure, it's nice to get map 2 pick, but really, what would you do here if you are Venga boys?
Well, I think at this point you need to bring out something that can really take down this PPE squad quickly. PPE Revival have shown to be very good in these long, protracted fights where they're able to win out as things get chaotic. So you really want to try and take advantage of taking them down nice and quickly. And so they've come out here with the Hanzo Mei. It is a bit of a long-range poke comp, very similar to what they were running with the Pharah, only a bit more contained. Oh, that's a huge boot there from Shiny.
Yeah, Crocodile going down there is going to absolutely punish them. There's really nothing you can do in that spot when you're down the Orisa, except really just try and fall away. And in fact, it will be Cat coming down there, opening to PPE Revival. Olem did kill himself, which I respect. Happens. Sometimes it's the right move. And indeed, he felt it was. But worth noting on the field, DJ Jeff's on that Reaper, is a really close range hero and does a great job of shredding them. And I'm a little surprised that Venga boys aren't electing to go that route as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting play there, but now we're just having a bit of a brawl here in this front room. Everything's a bit chaotic there, but already it's looking really good for the side of PP Revival. They should be able to win this fight and manage to make their way back. That's Crocodile going down there late is not looking good for their chances either, but this is looking really good for PP Revival at this point.
So much damage is coming out and there's no contest for it. That's the biggest issue, is that they're getting these engagements that actually look decent for Venga boys, but just the DPS on a full scale from PPE Revivals, just they're so much more intense. And now this Coalescence is in, does a lot more damage, and now they're walled off. They have no way of getting back through, and that's really been a struggle.
Yeah, there's a lot of ultimates online here for the side of PPE Revival. Venga boys are about to get their ultimates online as well, but the economy overwhelmingly is favoring the team that have managed to get all the way up to 75% on this point. This needs to be the fight that the Venga boys win, but they've got a lot less resources than their opponents. Here comes a good dragon in to start it, but that's going to be answered immediately by the sound barrier.
Oh, but the nano shooter does get booped off the ledge, so it's the full nano and the Diva's off the ledge. And now these blizzards are out on the field, and honestly, I think this is still going to go the way of PP Revival. They're still trying to find these kills, and the Hanzo coming in, that's Olaf going huge, and that might be enough to sway it. DJ Jeff is going to fall to the Ana, and we do have them seemingly grabbing this point. Just a Moira there, and it will flip at 99-0 Peronius. They've gone the full distance, and all they need to do is just cap once, and it's over.
Absolutely, they've gone the distance, but now they need to hold the fort. We've seen it happen in the last round against them, but Shooter McGrath going down early here, not a great start here. Without the Diva, you don't have a big defensive tool missing from your lineup, and with that, we're going to see PP Revival get very aggressive trying to take this fight.
This is a huge opportunity. PPE Revival are poised right now, but there is going to be the Bongo out on the field trying to find these kills. Big Anti Underwater's Edge gets a kill, but the boop! Crocodile's down again. Dragons are going to be flying through, trying to get any of these kills, and it actually finds Tanatuba. And now DJ Jeff has fallen. So what looked really dire for a while there for Venga boys is stabilized a little bit more. Still a few more kills to find as Tyler jumps off a ledge, as does Mitochondria. So they'll hold for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that was a dicey one, but very well played out. They've managed to make it through. That said, the ultimate rotation is starting to turn back in favor of PPE Revival. They are going to have the Coalescence in the next fight. Not a lot of resources available there, and Mitochondria is ahead of Grade as well. So that is something to be wary of, because that May ult can be so important in these matches. But still, early fight going off. There's the Diva Bomb over the top. Oh, that's a great wall there to pick up Tanatuba.
Yeah, that's so devastating. I obviously thought Tanatuba would live, but with Shiny Hero in the corner, this is huge for Venga boys. They're starting to find the kills. They've gotten a lot of the healing down. Mitochondria is going to fall as well. And now Water's Edge is doing everything he can to try and stall it out. But again, he falls. Moira's off a ledge. And that's it. I mean, they've already got up to the 98%. Tanatuba jumps on the point. And that's the only thing that they can hope for, is that this Wrecking Ball can try and contest for long enough for Spawn to come in. It's already gone. The Lucio's fallen as well. the more it is going to coalesce in, but can't even get there. Venga boys, they run it back all the way, the full distance, and steal it away from PPE.
Really nicely played there. It takes a lot of mental resilience to come back from that position, but now we've seen both these teams manage it, so it's looking really good for them here and now. Venga boys picking up a lot of momentum on that one. Let's see if it can carry them through to the final round on this one. We'll be going over to Village to finish things out. And this means we're going to see a lot more May Reaper from both of these teams, just given the map's geometry here. A lot of tight corners, very enclosed spaces that Reaper can absolutely dominate in. So it's perhaps not too surprising that we're going to see a lot of that from both these teams.
Down to the wire on map numero uno. Picks, and it is going to be the Dueling Reapers. We've got Olam up on it. Now they are going to be condensing right into the corner. The Reaper, DJ Jeff, he's actually isolated on point. Has to Wraith out of there very early, so that gives him a little bit less ability to stick into these fights and cause as much of an issue. But Shooter Grab's already down. DJ Jeff getting a kill on the grade. It's another incredibly nice start. Can they find any of the follow-up? And indeed they will. Crocodile's going down, or should I say Crocodile, as DJ Jeff is farming on these shotguns. Just the Hellfire is coming in and battering down the side of Venga boys.
Yeah, really good first fight there coming through from PB Revival. They use the May Wall very well, fire the wall second, managed to get a few people isolated, and absolutely capitalize on that one. As a result, DJ Jeff very close to that Death Blossom. We can potentially see it coming out next fight. It's going to depend on whether or not they get the opportunity to drop it, or if Shid McGrav is going to keep that mech going. Usually the standard play here is to try and freeze the mech and then let it rip with the Death Blossom, so we can expect that that's what PP are going to want to do in this fight.
They're trying to find a way, and they're trying to find any pressure that they can, but this Coalescence is doing so much work right now. The Death Blossom's out on the field. Is he going to find anything? No, it somehow doesn't. And Olaf actually gets that kill onto DJ Jeff. That is actually baffling, but it doesn't matter. Water's Edge is still out here. He's picked off the Lucio. He's causing all kinds of problems for them. It's a giant nuisance. But the other Death Blossom, it gets frozen. Olam's going to fall, but the kills are still going the way of Venga boys. They are going to be able to find the remainder on this one. Shiny Hero's just sticking it in, as is Tyler. They should be cleaned up, but they have managed to pick all the way up to 60%. So a beautiful start right now for PPE Revival.
A beautiful start indeed, but as you saw, Olam is a lot more free just to unleash that Death Blossom. Doesn't have to worry about the Diva there to eat it up, which unfortunately where most of DJ Jeff's ult managed to end up going. That said, both the May ults are about to be online, so for this next fight, we can expect to see some blizzards coming out, we can expect to see some answering sound barriers as well. And the first pick is going to be so crucial, because if they can neutralize one of those components, it'll all be over.
Oh, and that's a fabulous placement for that Blizzard right now. Crocodile might actually have just been committed too hard and being caught. And that is going to be the kill. They're going to be able to get the flip right back instantly. 2 picks already down, and that's a very fast wipe there.
Good, clean fight win there. It's what they needed, but they did invest a fair bit to make it happen. They've used the Supercharger and the Coalescence alongside that Blizzard. So when you're throwing that kind of ultimate resources into a fight, you hope to be winning it quickly. This does mean there's an opening here for the Venga boys to respond with much the same. We'll see how it goes as they make their way in.
Oh, there he is trying to come around that corner, and there is going to be a lot of damage done early in this fight. However, it has been quickly healed up. Now the Reapers are in, trying to duel it out, and a Blizzard is going to be down on the point. That Blizzard could be huge. It catches 3 of them. They should be able to clean up all 3. That's 3 free picks, and that is absolutely beautiful. That will be the turning point in this engagement. They will be able to clean the rest of them up, but it has gotten the job done for PPE Revival as the bell rings. They do get all the way up to that 99%, meaning that just 1 cap means map 1 is theirs. That's a tall task, having to grind out 60% for Venga boys without giving up a cap.
Absolutely. It's got a long journey ahead of them, but we've seen plenty of long journeys here on this Nepal map so far. Once again, it's going to be the battle of Olam versus, or rather the battle of DJ Jeff versus Shooter McGrav, with the Death Blossom versus Diva dynamic here. Whichever team manages to come out on top of that one can expect to win this next team fight. And Olam going down early is a great start.
But all the ultis are still here for the defense. The Diva Bomb comes out, it doesn't find anything. And the Coalescence is actually going to get a few kills. Somehow they're doing this. The cap comes through. I don't think anyone can step on this. And that's a baffling fight. There were 5 ultis up on the side of Venga boys. And they weren't able to hold on to this one. They've been absolutely mulched down. There's a Reaper who is just going to get the touch. But no, it's pooped off. There's no way for them to do it. And PPE Revival steal the map.
That is a great performance there from PPE Revival. They knew their game plans coming into this, and they just executed it that little bit better. That will see them come out with the early advantage in this lead, and just absolutely brutal when you manage to land the sound barrier, but it doesn't matter because there's a Reaper there just to shotgun some faces. Absolutely devastating stuff. With that one out the way, we'll be heading over to Escort as our next game mode, and as a result, the Venga boys are going to have a choice between Watchpoint Gibraltar and Junkertown for the 2 maps there. Let's see where they end up wanting to go.
I'll be honest with you, I'd like to go to Gibraltar. I think it's been a while since we've seen either.
Yeah, it definitely has been a while. I think Junkertown, I've seen Junkertown more recently than I have Gibraltar because, well, Junkertown is a bit of a crowd favorite and often has been, and of course plays very well into those long sight lines as well, which does allow the DPS players to get on those sniper heavy compositions. And, well, perhaps unsurprising favorite, we will be heading, so we can expect some of just that with the snipers coming out, trying to take control of these long-range sight lines, rather, especially on that first point. We'll see who has the tougher Widow, assuming that is what the teams end up running.
Yeah, I mean, it is super powerful. I would not be surprised at all if that is exactly what we see. But the team's just asking for a quick second, which I respect. Sometimes you do have to get up. You gotta wander to the washroom. You gotta brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth.
Eat a sandwich. Hey man, if you're having a rough time and you're stinking up the server, maybe, you know, freshen up your breath, get that nice minty feel, and you'll get some nice minty frags in as well.
Yeah, next time I'm having a bad run in comp, I might try that one, because it's...
Brush away your problems.
Brush away your problems.
Brush away your plaque.
And brush away your plat, hopefully. But, that aside, we will be heading over into Junkertown, everyone's favorite Down Under Rumble. As we were saying before, expect to see some snipers here on this first point. Expect to see probably the double sniper Widow Hanzo here. It is very powerful. Well, it's going to be on these teams to work out what they want to run here to get things underway.
Could always see a pirate ship. I mean, that tends to be a staple on this map. I find a lot of the time, especially in Australia, that we do see the Bastion come out with some of the shields. Less so more recently with some of the new heroes that have been included. But it is still something that they may elect to go. However, it is going to be the double sniper offense with Olam and Grade. As Widow and Hanzo respectively. Unless they're trolling me, but I believe that's the way that they're going to want to run this. And they only have a Hanzo to deal with on the other side. So they find that pick, they've got a lot of free reign.
Mitochondria there on the May, a bit of a safe bet on the defense. Still very powerful for denying sight lines to those snipers, as well as being a decent response to that potential pirate ship, the power that war can bring. So, as you'd expect from a defense, hedging their bets quite well. And we'll see how that goes as things roll out here. Because, well, we're going to have some early shield break wars between these two teams. A lot more shield break on the offense, though, thanks to that Roadhog.
Absolutely. It just pops in, puts that nice amount of damage in there. Oh, the hook. The wall was actually flawless there. Denies them from getting a hold of that one. However, Mitochondria is very heavily hurt up. Gonna be healed back through though, and everything's going to be okay. The hook's still not able to land. That anti is massive. This offense, they're gonna be absolutely shredded right now. They're getting completely mulched as a huge anti came in and a few nice freezes. That is going to completely shut down this push.
Very nice play there from Tyler. Really, really good anti. The Ana can be so instrumental to setting up these teamfight wins. Not someone that usually gets the recognition that they often deserve. That said, a late kill by Olam back gives a real opportunity for the Venga boys to surge forwards now in this 5v6 engagement. There goes Tyler as well, so a lot of pressure now on this defense to try and pull back, hold together, and wait for their remaining members before they try and recontest this payload.
Oh, and the hook there is going to get the D-Mech onto the Diva. The wall's going to at least keep Water's Edge alive, but it's almost worse because there is no mech. Ooh. And the Dragon catches Tanatuva out as they find another kill on the Shiny Hero. They are slaughtering everything. But what I gotta do is give a shout out to is when that push started to fall apart, Grade and Olam, I'm not sure if it was coordinated, had a brilliant play. Grade started to fall back, got a kill and did a lot of damage, but was the main focus. Olam had spawned already, managed to get wide, completely ignored and found that opening pick, and that allowed them to come right back in with the rest of their spawns and win that fight. Really nice job by the double snipers.
No one can hide.
It's definitely how you want to play the double snipers, by separating out, giving people concern. They're having to check sight lines in two different directions at once. Meanwhile, the tanks are pushing down the middle as well. It can be so difficult to deal with. Now we have the windows coming out from the Baptiste. Those amplification matrices getting a lot done, but Mitochondria comes forward with the Blizzard, and that is everyone frozen there. What a great start.
Mitochondria has been powering his team into this hold in both of the in a few of these huge engagements. It's been the Blizzards. How many times have we already said so far that Venga boys have had 2, 3, 4, 5 people caught in a blizzard? That's not what you want. It's not like we're playing in Canada where in a lot of the country that's quite possible to have your entire team be caught in a blizzard. No, like it's a sunny day in Junkertown. You shouldn't have everyone get caught in a single blizzard, and that's what's happened too much.
Absolutely. Now we have the Dragons coming out from DJ Jeff, shooting through. Everyone does manage to get into cover there, thanks in no small part to Dr. Meme's Immortality Matrix. Now, Shooter McGrav coming out, getting aggressive with the whole hog, does get frozen though, and very nearly goes down. There it is, the kill confirmed by Mitochondria, as the defense once again surges forwards and drives back the Venga boys.
And they are still trying to come forward, and they are going to find these kills. I thought for a second they might have been getting too aggressive, but oh, is that Mercy going to escape somehow? Somehow, Wheat, Bix, and Milk manages to get out.
That said, we are going to see some swaps now. Olam going over to the Ash, Grade moving over to the main now on the offense. But the defense almost have another set of ultimates online in their rotation. PP Revival really managing this defense quite well with their ultimate rotation here. And Mitochondria is going to have another Blizzard very soon, which is just so dangerous here to try and push through under.
Yeah, and it's the combination between the Blizzard and the wall. You give them nowhere to go but into the Blizzard, and you're in all kinds of trouble. Pop-up is going to be big. It's not actually going to be able to find anything as VJ Jeff has fallen off the opening of this engagement. But another freeze comes through, and the Blizzard's out. Everyone, again, there's 3 people caught in this Blizzard, and they are going to fall. I don't think they realize, though, there is a player back in behind. Now he's running straight forward. That was Dr. Meme, and that was an easy kill to find, but didn't manage to find anything else. However, Olam, still, so many of these times, Olam shouldn't be alive, should die, does die, and somehow takes one with him. Something to keep an eye on if PP Revival. Olam's just getting free picks.
Yeah, definitely. And with that late kill on the Tanatuva, there's a big opportunity for the Venga boys to push forwards now. No main tank to answer though. This is going to get the Amplification Matrix out and the Dragons to just try and stall it off, buy some time for their tank to return, which they do manage to do. There's a lot of resources being invested here just to keep that one going though.
They do have the kill on the Mitochondria, which means no chance of a Blizzard. It's not even close to being up yet, and no walls, no freezing. So it works out a little bit better, but a Big Tam Anti is going to cause a lot of problems right now. It has finally faded. Doesn't manage to result in any kills as the Dragons come out, and the freeze is good. Tanatuva and Water's Edge going down, DJ Jeff too, but the Anti again. 5 players caught in it, but the DPS just isn't up on the field right now, and point 2 will fall to Venga boys.
Yeah, they've made it through there. 2.5 minutes left of the clock to get this final leg of Junkertown there. Tyler's actually having a great game on this Ana. All those anti-nades really impactful, really setting up these teamfight wins. With Olam going down here, it's going to be once again a chance for the defense to surge forwards and reassert themselves onto this payload in just a moment. So this is still looking quite good for PPE Revival at this point.
Oh, more ultis out on the field right now. They're trying to find any of the kills that they can. They're trying to get any of these players out of the way. But a good scatter so far for Venga boys, but the Blizzard is in for the offense. However, they dropped Crocodile and Dr. Meme. So despite there being 4 players caught, they're not able to actually capitalize. And now they've dropped another. Mitochondria gets great, and the offense is going to have to fall back. It was a brilliant Blizzard, but everyone died anyways.
Yeah, it was a good Blizzard, but the shields were already down there from the defense. Both Water's Edge and Tanatuva already had their shields up, and with the picks on the enemy DPS, there wasn't the damage needed to break through them. So in the end, it ends up being just kind of a free fight win, because the damage was done before that one comes out. That's something they're going to be missing in this next sec. That said, Mitochondria quite low there now. Blizzard's online, but they have to worry about that Diva Matrix potentially eating it. Here it comes out now. There it is. Diva Matrix eats the Blizzard.
And a big time anti again is causing problems though. So many great anti-nades coming in from Tyler, and now they're all in a cubby and the kills are coming through. Tanatuba does follow the Dragons out as well, but it's not going to be able to capitalize on anything in this spot. The kills. This next one is so important. It is Water's Edge to get that one onto Olam. Tyler in the corner is all alone and should fall, as he does. But can they find anything else? 2 players are caught between 2 Maywalls, but instead it's Weepix and Milks to go down. But still, the defense, they're finding these kills. They're still hanging on here and delaying out so much time. How is this working, Peronius?
It's a good question. They're managing to just take advantage of whatever little micro mistakes are being made to just buy time, play the footwork game, dodge around, and even picking up the kill there onto Weepix and Milk unexpectedly. But the fight is eventually won here by the Venga boys. We're about to head into OT, so they can't afford to get off this payload, but they've got a couple of tools to help them in that regard. They're going to have the Supercharger online. Really good to just plant that on there. They've also got Grade's Blizzard as well. So a couple of very powerful ultimates. There's the Bongo coming out now, and we'll see how this one goes.
Oh man, the Bongo, it's already down, and Olam does get rezzed. However, Tyler is the next one to fall. Grade will quickly be traded back, but Olam is still up here doing work. The Dragon applies through. It's not able to catch anything. Everyone got out of the way, and now it's a matter of this next kill. There is the D-Mech on the Shooter McGrath, which is a bit of a problem, but there's still such a win. Their Shooter will fall. Olam going down as well, and that might be the nail in the coffin. Olam was the key part, doing so much damage, and in fact, all these kills are coming down. It will be Paper Planes holding on.
Paper Planes holding on and doing a great job at that. Water's Edge putting out so much damage on that Sigma, just managing to stay alive just barely and keep fighting and brawling in there, getting the cooldowns back online to eat up more damage, buy himself some extra hit points, and just really becoming an absolute nuisance to deal with. So props to Water's Edge there, definitely getting some great mileage out of this new hero. As a result, we are going to see the Venga boys stop short before the finish line. And, well, anytime anyone doesn't fully complete in Junkertown, it really is not a great position to be in. It is a map that people usually do finish on the full pass, so definitely a clear road to victory now for PPE Revival to potentially take this map.
Pressure is mounting, time is building, and keep in mind who won the first map, Peronius. Not only is the pressure on Venga boys to actually try and come out here and at least win the map, pressure's not to go into an 0-2 hole, and that's almost even worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you're in that sort of position, it gets really, really hard to mentally fight back from that one. And we say this a lot, but Overwatch, it is a mental game as much as it is one of sort of the physical as much as the keyboard and mouse side of it anyways. But the psychology behind it is super important as well. Now we are going to see the old-fashioned, well, that's a new variant, rather, of the old-fashioned pirate ship. Still got the 2 sails, but this time one of them is the Sigma one. And that's going to come surging out of this gate, really driving back the defense there. And the double snipers are going to struggle to get the angles on this one.
Yeah, you know, I kind of touched on early in the map that we might see a pirate ship, and I was a little surprised that it wasn't the route that we went, and now we do get to see it, so I'm a little bit happy here. We'll see if they can find these kills. Mitochondria is going to be the first one to fall, so the May is removed. That might cause some problems, and Bastion is still trying to do the work out here, just turning in so much damage. Really, they can't even deal with it, and the remaining kills are going to fall down. I think DJ Jeff only actually gets credit for one of the limbs outright himself, but still, so much damage done.
Absolutely, just shredding down those shields, and a good effort there from the defense to try and get the angles around it. They did, after all, get that first kill onto Mitochondria on the May, but unfortunately not able to follow through, prevent the res, and the payload continues to move smoothly through here. It's been pretty smooth sailing as they make their way into the second area on there. We have seen Olam swap onto the May just to give another tool to try and deal with that Bastion, but it's going to be dangerous because Configuration Tank is online for this next fight, potentially.
And now the pirate ship is boosted to the moon, and it's just going to go tank form and try and find these kills. However, it's not able to find anything so far. DJ Jeff, okay, connects the direct long range on the Olam, but the Dragon's right back on through, and it catches 3! Great! How does it get all 3? DJ Jeff, though, is still up on the field, causing that nuisance, finding these kills. And the offense, despite that Dragon, looks to keep rolling.
Absolutely, the fight has gotten scrappy, and it's really going to come down to how quickly people can get back to that one. But a great combo there with those Dragons, the Orisa Holt putting in the work there to try and stop this one down. So props to Crocodile for that. And it does look like the Venga boys are going to get the advantage in this fight. Tyler going down there means we will have the retreat from the offense. Tanatuva just trying to get away, trying to avoid feeding over any extra ultimate charge, get back to his healers, give them some charge instead. And they need to, well, they need to come up with a plan to break through this defensive position now.
It's a very strong spot, and we've seen many a times that teams struggle to get on through. And the fact that they are committing with the Bastion, I'm not sure how I feel about that one, Mr. Peronius. Bastion's a great hero, does a lot of damage, but it's a lot better once it's set up. However, they are hoping that it can set up and do the work. And instead, it's actually Tanatuva doing a lot of it, finding the kill onto Crocodile. Can they find any of the follow-up, though? The Blizzard was very good, but no one has actually been dying yet. In fact, it's Olam going down, so the defense might be cracking despite the Bastion not doing anything. There does get a kill on to the Mercy, but yeah, okay, everything's just dead. All right.
Everything's just dead indeed. Sometimes you don't need the Bastion to be getting the kills. Just their mere presence taking an angle forces the other team to play a particular way because they cannot afford to go into those sight lines. Once you start denying the safe places they can go, it gets really easy to cut them down. Especially when you're running a May with it as well that can also deny some areas really effectively. So we see PP Revival just managing to make it so there is no safe area left for this defense, and as a result they end up buckling there now. Now we're on to the final point with 4 minutes left on the clock. Things are looking fantastic for PP Revival. We need to see a big change of momentum in the side of the Venga boys if they want to stop this one from coming through.
Well, they're going to have to do whatever they can. 350, not a lot of time. And, you know, the fact that it's like a 20-meter difference, not a lot of space. All Alties are out on the field, though, and Mitochondria going down. It's a big opener. The Diva Bomb over the top catches Tyler. However, the Freeze managed to get Shooter or Grab. And Wheat Bix and Milk did fall, too. Everyone is starting to die. DJ Jeff on this Bastion is still just driving them right through Pound Town. And, you know, in a Guy Fieri-esque way, taking them to Flavor Town. They're taking them all the way to Finish Town, getting to the very end here. There's going to be one last-ditch effort, Peronius, to try and salvage this one out. But I don't like the chances for the defense. 3 minutes still left on the clock. They're trying to get in. Someone needs to get on the start. Someone needs to get close. And in fact, it is Olam just getting there. He finds DJ Jeff. But what else is there to find? The kills are still going the way of Paper Planes. PvP are absolutely pulling this off. There isn't much of a window. There is going to be the blizzard out, and this blizzard might be the only hope that there is right now for Venga Boys. And it's working.
Well, it was working, but look, there's still 4 members left of PP Revival. Great has gone down now as well. The defenders do have respawn advantage, but they're not really getting any kills here. And that just means the attackers are grinding them down slowly. Unless they're able to get something done here, it really is only a matter of time. 0.9, make that 0.0 meters remaining as PP Revival get that one across the line. They will take Junkertown, and they will take us to match point as we get ready to head over to our hybrid assault mode.
If you play Overwatch in the States, does it say feet instead of instead of meters? I've actually wondered this. I've never paid attention.
Huh. I mean, I assume that it would be the same measurement universally, just because having to code in 2 different ones sounds very, like, unnecessary. But
it's such a minor calculation,
yeah,
though, that, I mean, it's not, like, I don't know. You'd think, being the one that's based in North America, I'd know better than you would, but I actually have no idea. I'm honestly... I'm stumped.
Huh. Well, something to...
shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, indeed.
Overwatch shower thoughts.
If anyone does know the answer to that one, feel free to send it through to Graham on Twitter. You can find him at GrahamCasts. He'd be very interested to hear from you, I'm sure.
I'd also be interested in a follow. I'm just gonna throw that out there, shameless. And I'm sure you would too. That is at Peronius. He is my lovely co-caster. This is back-to-back evenings we've been casting Overwatch, and every time I get to, it is an absolute pleasure.
As you well know by this point, the feeling is absolutely mutual. Have a wonderful time here casting together. We will be heading over to Hybrid now for what potentially could be our final map of this series. Choices available being King's Row and Eichenwald, so...
Also known as King's Row and King's Row.
Also known as King's Row, although we did see Eichenwald yesterday, so it's not without the realm of possibility.
And we're seeing it again today. New solution here, Peronius. Whenever we want a map, we just need to really emphasize the fact that it's never gonna go there. We say it's 100% King's Row. It's a choice of King's Row and King's Row, and we end up on Eichenwald. So this is a happy blessing.
Yeah,
I think that's the solution. We just need to start throwing that out there all the time. But if I do have to give a guess, venture my big brain guess, I'd say this is going to be our third and final map of the day. That's my prediction. We could obviously end up on one of Hanamura or Volskaya and maybe even go all the way to Lijiang Tower. But that requires a big time response from Venga Boys, and one that's just not been there yet.
Well, you say that, but do remember, Olam's Farah was looking really good way back on Nepal. And this is a great Farah map. I think that's probably why the Venga Boys opted to go here. And I can definitely see an upset on the wings, brought to them by the wings of victory from Olam's Farah. So we'll see if that is enough to turn the tide here. They're definitely playing to their strengths. Let's see if it is enough. And I think that we're not the only ones to be expecting this Farah. DJ Jeff is going to start on the Widowmaker on defense as well. So definitely something that could happen there. And I'm just a little puzzled here because I thought there was going to be some lobby rules preventing this sort of 3-tank composition from the attack. I imagine that they will be swapping off shortly. I'm just surprised it wasn't already set. And
yeah, there it is.
LM goes over to the Farah. And we'll see who wins in this duel between DJ Jeff and Olam to control the skies.
Yeah, something I was taught in school, you can't have 3 tanks, and they realized that's the same case. It's one of the only things I learned, that in the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But we'll see if he is the powerhouse of the defense, trying to hold it up here for his team, trying to find any window through. as they can try and stunt this offense, but there is the fire. That's Olam going sky high, right up to the moon. And, well, when you go sky high against the Widowmaker, that's what tends to happen. Picked right out of the sky, plucked away, and said, good night.
Not over yet, though, as the res is there. Olam is back awake and back into things. Everyone knows it. Now going to be playing a bit more cautiously with these rooftops as cover as the teams continue to play the footsies battle around these corners. Early kill onto Mitochondria is a good start, though, to try and get this one through. But there's the answering kill onto Crocodile.
DJ Jeff is going to fall to the punch of Shooter McGrath. How does that feel, getting punched by a robot? Actually, I can't imagine that would feel good. It would probably feel worse than being punched by a human. But Water's Edge is going to trade back the kill onto Olam, and that gives them a chance to kind of brawl this out a little bit longer. Eventually, we are going to get into the spawns coming back into this fight, and that might be the difference maker. But Wheat, Mix, and Milk going down. The shiny hero is not really a good start or conducive to winning on offense. Grade going down, Shooter demeched, and the defense will hold for the time being.
Weet-Bix and Milk going for the very risky res there, almost gets it off, does get cut down just before it goes through. As a result, Olam has to respawn the old-fashioned way. And, well, the attacks, it's not the worst first fight, but it was a long one with 2 minutes left on the clock. Crocodile going down early there is not good news, though. This is going to give the defense a chance to build up those ultimates again for another rotation, and they really need to speed things up if they want to break through this map.
Bomb going straight through. It's going to catch two of them. Oh, that's devastating. And a DMAC. And this is looking like you can start singing a certain song, Peronius. Has some Nas, has some Haze, and ends on a goodbye. That's where it feels like we're heading to. This has been a really strong defense from PPE Revival.
Yeah, they're definitely showing some real aptitude for this sort of defense here. DJ Jeff has done a great job denying Olam the skies as well, so big props there. Now we're going to have the engagement coming through now. They have to end up surging forwards, not getting the real use out of the amplification matrix as the defense just backs away from that one. And Dr. Meme going down early, not a great position. The Blizzard's in now. It's desperation time.
Yeah, and there's going to be a big trans to try and save it. And now can they find any of the kills? The Blizzard goes back the other way, and Crocodile is going to fall. Grade down as well. The defense is just too freaking good right now, Peronius. Everything is crumbling. The offense, they are left with no answers. All they have is Shooter McGrath with an ult. Although that might have just been the Remac ult. I'm not sure what his actual ult level's at. This is not looking good. This is dire. Olam swaps over to the Reaper. There's one shot. 30 seconds left, and we could be done on this first half of the third map.
Absolutely. Now, the only thing they do have going for them, they did drain a lot of ults out of the defense as well. Only Water's Edge close, but Crocodile going down early is a disaster for this offense. It's so hard to push forwards without a main tank there. Things are not looking good. There's the bomb over the top that's going to catch out the counterpart Diva, but the self-destruct gets thrown in. That is going to pick up too. This is actually their chance to get this one through. As DJ Jeff goes down as well, they might actually get this one going.
They're starting to make it work. Dr. Beam, the Moira pick is working out to perfection. He's got more kills, and somehow they're killing everything down to the wire. Olam's got a few more, but that is going to give them the cap through in a very, very tiny window to stay alive.
And with that, they will get the payload going, but so close. So very dangerously close. And with that, they are going to get this one underway. There's just 2.5 minutes on the clock, which is now already down to 2:10. They really don't have a lot of time here to go quite far, but it looks like so far things are looking pretty good for them there. As they search forwards, we are actually going to have a pause coming in, but that early kill onto Tanatuva is a big opportunity to get some real momentum and snowball going in this second stage.
Yeah, this pause. I wonder what the reasoning for the pause is. I'm concerned. I don't see anyone dropping. And I'm being informed that we have no sound. I'm not sure if that's still the case, so apologies if this is. If it's not the case, then well, I'm talking nonsensically, but there may or may not be no sound.
Yes. But it looks like the pause is over. We will be getting back underway shortly. And that's, as I said, we have seen the trance coming in from Tyler to try and slow down this offense, but without the main tank there, there's a real opportunity to just surge through. Now they are actually leaving the payload, and they've been walled in this room as well. This is potentially a very dangerous trap coming through, as the defense managed to pull one up over. And I think they've done it.
Yeah, wow. Ease of the relative variety. That was smooth and crispy, that defense. Very quick rebound after a surprising loss of the first point.
Yeah, a big loss of the first point, and they were down in that team fight. But they bait everyone into a nice enclosed space, wall them in, and drop the blizzard, and that's it. Lights out. Now DJ Jeff has the walls up and is going to be taking advantage of these sightlines. Weet-Bix and Milk goes down early, though. That's not a great start. Olam's there with the Death Blossom, but not able to get anything through that Transcendence. And now Olam and Crocodile have gone down as well. So PP Revival once again digging in, getting ready to hold back the members of the Venga Boys.
Yeah, and this is such a late stagger. Poor shooter. This is the worst part of playing D.Va at any point in time. Is the fact when just a baby D.Va trying to escape.
A little left for this offense as we're once again back into desperation territory. We're going to see Crocodile actually swap over onto the Winston. Dr. Memes going over to the Anna. Desperation time indeed. And Olam's going to try and counter Widow as well to deny DJ Jeff those free shots that have been happening so far. They've recognized they need to stop this Widow, and they're really committing to it, but is that committing a little too much to just one member of the team, or is that going to be what they need to do to get this one going?
Oh, they're trying this out so hard. This Blizzard, though, is going to make it so very difficult. And now the kills, they are still going the way of the defense. The D.Va Bomb up above finds Dr. Meme, and all the ultis out on the field. D.Va Bomb finds nothing, and that is going to do it. Ring the bell, a team kill comes down, but they at least got partway there. Even though they're now absolutely living on a prayer.
100%. It's not over yet. It's definitely not over yet. We've seen people managing to full hold this first point of Eichenwald, but the pressure is definitely there, and I think the Venga Boys are really starting to buckle under it. PP Revival have looked so strong during this series. They've really come alive. Things were a lot more close back on Nepal, but ever since we went to Junkertown, it really has been the PP Revival show. And I don't know if the Venga Boys still have it in them to bring this one back, because things are just starting to look really sloppy and desperate. They need to fix something if they're going to have any hope of getting the full hold here that they need.
And I do apologize. I believe we still are having a slight issue with game sound, with none coming through to the stream. I'm not sure if that's been fixed, but apologies. Oh, it is being fixed. All right. That's what happens when we have a delay between the stream and people messaging me. But we good. We got it fixed. We have magic people in the back that managed to get the job done. And speaking of magic and getting the job done, that's pretty much what it's going to take for Venga Boys to stay alive here.
Absolutely. They're committing hard to this May Reaper composition. It is very strong, but there is the disadvantage there that all the attackers need to do is go back into spawn and counterpick them, because they really don't have much in the way of resources to try and stop something like a Pharah. So definitely playing a dangerous game here are the Venga Boys as PP Revival move forward on this first attack. Grade getting very aggressive here as they collapse in.
Oh, but Olam, he finds two of them. Grade gets another as Olam chimes in a third. Shuri falls to DJ Jeff, but a brilliant start. They need to just find the follow-up. There is just DJ Jeff trying to escape. The spawners are going to come, so Jeff will live with his life for now.
Yeah, live with his life for now, but there's already been a couple of trade kills to take out members of the defense here. This is absolutely an opportunity now. We do have all 6 members of the defenders back. Venga boys are all back on the point, but look at this aggression coming in from PPE Revival. Mitochondria actually gets a little too aggressive, gets caught out there, and now the fight is on once again.
Get Mitochondria some water because he clearly was a little thirsty there. And will fall. Water's Edge gets a nice pick on the Olim, and that Reaper down is a lot of the damage for this defense. And that might be the difference maker of this engagement. The Coalescences are out, but DJ Jeff needs to be found, needs to be taken down, or they need to allow time for the Reaper to come back in. They're in such dire straits right now, but Olim has made it back into the fight. He has to be a difference maker, and finding Shiny Hero is a great start, but the Blossom's out. It also takes down 2. 10-2 has been traded back, so this is an incredibly even fight right now. 4-on-4, the same 4 alive, and Olim gets a huge pick onto the Reaper.
Yeah, here comes the cleanup here. Olim and Grade putting in the work. They are going to stabilize this defense, but it's very much on the knife's edge. That was so close, it could have gone either way. And that is still only half the time of this defense off the clock. They are managing to just barely hold on, are the Venga boys, but well, it's really, really rough. Any fight here could be your last. That said, the ultimate economy definitely in favor of the defense here. They've got the Death Blossom and the Supercharger available. That can win a fight on its own. They just have to worry about Mitochondria and the Blizzard. Ooh.
And now they're trying to find these kills. They're trying to find anything. And the Coalescences are kind of going to the wayside, but Olim, that's a huge pick. DJ Jeff down, and the Reaper, they're very wisely just going to try and retreat here. However, there's a player caught in. That's Water's Edge. He might be caught out here. Is he going to be able to escape? Just in the nick of time, he does. He gets out for the time being.
And Mortar's Edge getting out is a good thing for PP Revival. They're starting to bank up the ultimates. They've got both the support ultimates and Mitochondria's Blizzard available, which means it just becomes a game of, oh no, they're just going to drop that straight in. Olam coming out with the Death Blossom. Doesn't get anything from that one, but here comes the Blizzard. Blizzard gets eaten by Shooter McGrav. That is big as this fight really unfolds. That's huge.
2. And now Shooter McGrav chiming in with the kill on the Mitochondria might just seal the deal, but there's someone on the point. Someone's capping. It's DJ Jeff. It's the Reaper. Now they sent the Lucio back to deal with that. That's not how that's supposed to work. Jeff will fall.
Out.
It works out in the long run. But I would never, ever intentionally send a Lucio to deal with the Reaper. That sounds like you're asking for problems.
That said, the problems seem to be all for PP Revival. It's 15 seconds left on the clock. They still haven't managed to break this defense, and really their best fight has already come and gone. It's looking like the Venga boys might be able to get the full hold they desperately need here as this last fight unfolds.
Oh, can they find these kills? Can they find anything? They're trying to stall it out, and the Blossom's gonna come out, but it doesn't actually get enough. And Jeff falls down to Crocodile, but that's the only kill that they found so far for this defense. The offense, they're still trending away. They have more damage out on the field right now with the Bongo, and they should be able to pull this off. It looks like they're going to be able to pull this off. It's coming down to the wire, but they've gotten all the kills that they need. They're going to be able to cap in just like Venga boys, where it came down to the wire, Peronius. PPE leave it to the very end, but they managed to pull through with a cap as well.
That is just an incredible last second clutch coming through from the members of PPE Revival. Now 2.5 minutes, all the time allowed. We saw exactly what 2.5 minutes can get you before on the defense. It really is going to be a game of inches here. And, well, we're already seeing some swaps coming through to try and capitalize on that. We have DJ Jeff over onto the Widowmaker once more. There's the Blizzard in. That could be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, Crocodile getting caught out. Dr. Mean goes down as well. And this might just be it. They're finding all the kills. The Kurt's going to go there. And PPE Revival ring the bell. They get a team kill. And they have closed this one out 3-0.
It was so close. They almost managed to hold out, get the full hold they needed, but in the end, the Venga boys come up short. and the moment that happens, the team just collapses. Any resistance gone for the second point. As a result, this map is over, this match is over, and PPE Revival will take the 3-0 victory here tonight in match 1 of the Gauntlet of Champions.
Well-deserved W going on the board. PP Revival looked very, very good.
Yeah, well, we said it at the start, this is a veteran team. They've been around for a while. These players are used to playing with each other, and you really see the difference that makes when they come up against a newer team here. They're used to each other. They don't tilt together. They're good at keeping the mental game strong. As a result, they're able to push through these trials, and in the end, they have a clean victory there. Well fought by the Venga boys, who came really close in a number of places, but in the end, PPE Revival are your match 1 winners. And with that said, I think it's time for us to, determine our MVP for match 1.
I'm going to let you go first, because I feel like my pick is going to come a little bit out of left field for you.
Okay, well, for me, I really had 2 names that I highlighted throughout the night. There were 2 big names in my mind for who was really popping off. And the first of those was Tyler, who we saw time and again landing those really sick biotic grenades, getting some huge antis there to try and set up the teamfight win. But I think my MVP for the match is actually going to be Water's Edge, because it really did seem like when the chips were down, when the fight went to chaos, it was Water's Edge that was staying alive and putting in the damage and cleaning up the kills. And I think being that person who's just able to stay calm under pressure and close things out is absolutely what you need, and the big difference maker that allowed PPE Revival to come through ahead. So my vote has to be for Water's Edge.
It's interesting you do highlight Tyler, because that was one of the 2 I thought might come out of left field on you. And again, you nailed it. It's completely because of those bionic grenades. He was doing such a strong job putting the antis in and doing a ton of work up on the healer. But the one I'm pulling in as my MVP is Tanatuva. And I'll tell you why. Because this is the one I thought was going to raise a little eyebrow for you, Peronius. A lot of the fights came down because of a couple really good Orisa grapples right back into the middle. You notice those blizzards, how they perpetually were getting like 3, 4, 5 by Mitochondria? It was beautiful teamwork between Mitochondria and Tanatuva to get that pull right back in. So perpetually, these players were just being wrenched into the middle of Blizzard, and they had nowhere to go. And there were a lot more times that the subtleties of Tanatuva's tank play stood out in one fights to me. So for that reason, Tanatuva is my MVP.
Yeah, no, I can respect that. I can definitely respect that. And I've always got a soft spot for tank play, so definitely mad respect there. But
Keep in mind, it's also hard to pick an MVP when you have a 3-0 in pretty dominant fashion. Like, everybody had standout moments. Water's Edge on that off tank was phenomenal. Mitochondria had huge moments. DJ Jeff on the hit scan it was absolutely nuts. You know, Tyler on support, great. Shiny Hero had some really good boops. Everybody on that team deserved a shout out, but Tanatuva gets my MVP vote.
100%. Definitely no shade to throw here, and just an incredible performance from the team on the whole. They worked really well together, and that's what makes it so hard to pick any sort of standout performers. With that done, that's going to be all from us here for this first match. We will be back shortly for the next map of the series between Quantify and Forgiver, and we'll be handing over the microphones to Bemi and GL Phoenix to cover that one. So that's going to be all from that. And on that note, do you have any final things you'd like to say, Mr. Graham?
No, just it's always a pleasure to be out here casting. I'll give a subtle plug to the 4 important Twitters. We got 4 of them this time now, Peronius. Of course, at AOE Sports, they are the ones putting on the tournament. At CappingTV is the org providing coverage. You, of course, are at Peronius. I am at Graham Casts. And stay tuned, because we got some absolute beauties coming down. Bemi and Phoenix. We got Phoenix here already. Say hi, Phoenix. Wow, he's camera shy. He's saving his voice. He's holding back to unload with the glorious sound that is GL Phoenix for when this next match comes through. We will be taking a quick break, but he, joined by Bemi, will be bringing you that one.
I can respect that. And with that, we'll be heading to break now, so stay tuned. We'll be back real soon for our next match.